Good morning, students of class 10. Welcome back to the online classes now. So we are doing lesson 5 in English, the 100 dresses. It's about a little girl, a poor little girl who always remained alone, and she was criticized by her friends. Her friends made a lot of difference to her. Now we'll talk about that. We'll learn a lesson from this chapter. So here, most of the children in room number 13. Room number 13 was Wanda's class. Most of the children in room number 13 had English names. They had English names, easy to say, just like Tom, Mary, Henry, John, such like that, etc. And it is an English name. So it's easy to spell, easy to speak out. But for Wanda Petonsky, the students thought it is quite different, very odd, and they used to laugh. And there was also, number 2, there was also one boy named Willie Bounce. His name was Willie Bounce. Others thought that was funny. Students thought that this name is very funny, Willie Bounce. Bounce means to jump. When we throw the ball on the ground, it bounces. But how come your name is Willie Bounce? The student used to make fun of him, as well as Wanda Petonsky. But not that funny in the same way that Wanda Petonsky was. But among these two names were quite different, Wanda Petonsky and Willie Bounce. Actually, both of them were brother and sisters. So later on we'll come to know. But here, Willie Bounce was not that funny, but Wanda Petonsky was quite funny. The students thought that Wanda Petonsky was very, very funny, very odd. So that's why the children used to laugh and make fun of her. Because she was a Polish girl, we have learned in our previous class. She was a Polish girl, and that's why her name is quite different. That's why the American students, they made fun and differentiate in the class. Number 3, Wanda did not have any friends. As we have learned in our previous class, Wanda did not have any friends. She used to come to school alone. She used to go home alone. She used to sit in the class alone. She had nobody to talk to. So she did not have any friends. She was always alone. She was always remained alone. She always wore means put on. She always wore, past tense of wear. She always wore the same faded means discolored, same faded blue dress. Wanda always used to put on the same dress, that too discolored. That did not hang right, that did not fit properly. It was quite loose. And the color of the dress was faded, discolored. And the same dress she used to wear. Maybe she used to put on during the day in the class, and at home, when she goes home, at home, she used to clean it and dry it, and in the morning again she used to put on. Again, next in the evening she used to clean it, and again next morning she used to put on. In the same way. That's why she always wore the same dress, and that too faded blue dress, and that did not hang right, did not fit properly. Number 4, the dress she wore. The dress she wore was clean. It was very clean. No doubt, it was very clean. But it looked as if it had never been ironed. As though the dress she wore had never been ironed. It was clean, but not ironed. Number 5, a lot of girls surrounded her in the schoolyard, especially during the break time, before assembly, and just after the classes gets over, when she is out, the girl used to surround her. A lot of girls surrounded her in the schoolyard as she stood watching. Wanda used to watch the little girls, little children playing there in the ground. She used to watch the children playing hopscotch, skipping and so on. Hopscotch means skipping at time. Hopscotch means one girl will hold the rope, another girl will hold the rope there, and they will turn it around and the girls will jump. That's called hopscotch. Yeah, you can say a kind of skipping. So while Wanda was watching the children playing the skipping or hopscotch, other girls, a lot of girls used to surround her. And among them, Peggy and her best friend Maddie, used to sit there, stand there. And Peggy would say, giving a nudge means with an elbow, just pushing. Peggy would say, Wanda, during the break hours, right? When all the other girls surrounded her, Peggy among them, Peggy was there, Madeline was there. Wanda, tell us, how many dresses did you say you had hanging in your closet? Closet means cupboard. Wanda, she used to ask this question. Wanda, tell me, or tell your friends also, let them hear, how many dresses you say that you had hanging in the closet? Peggy would say this by giving a nudge to one of her friends, especially the Madeline. Nudge means just to push, give a little push with an elbow, that's called nudge. Peggy would say this by giving a nudge, a little push with the elbow to one of her friends. Maybe that is Maddie. And Wanda, without thinking, she used to say, oh, I have 100. She used to say like that. As the question, so the answer. She used to say 100. Wanda would say always. And then again next, how many shoes you had? You said you had in your at home. She used to say 70, 80 or 100, any number she used to give without thinking. So just as she asked the question, similarly, in the same way she used to answer without thinking, without saying, without thinking twice. She used to just say like that. Just to keep her quiet, she used to say like that. But she never looked at the children. And they used to laugh. All the students used to laugh loudly. And in this way, other children, especially Peggy and Maddie never used to say anything. She used to laugh only. Peggy used to make fun of her all the time, and other children joined the laughter. So that's all. Now in our next class, what happens next, we'll talk about. So this much for today. You go through the online portal, make a habit of going through the online portal. It doesn't take much time. So that you will learn and stay up to date according to the classes going on. You should not waste your time. You know it very well. You are wise enough to do that. So that's all for today. We'll meet in the next class, and thank you for watching the video. That's all for today. Those who have the book, you go through the book as well. Those who don't have the book, you can take the screenshot and you can copy when you are offline. So that's all. And answer the questions which I have provided already. Yesterday was Sunday. I provided you the questions of history, geography or economics, whatever it is. So you answer them, and pages are also mentioned there. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching.